Alright guys, welcome back for another episode. Today we are going to be answering once and for all, how much rust does a 40-year-old four-wheel drive have? And if you've seen the previous episode, you already know that we do have quite a few hot spots, mainly on the roof, and then working its way down to the floor trims. But today, Cam and I are going to be taking off the canopy. We're going to be stripping out all the interior from the carpet to the roof lining to all the dash, taking it all out, giving it a good clean, and seeing how much rust has been put underneath. So place your bets in the comments section, how much do you think there is? And without further ado, let's start taking this canopy off.
Now, as you can probably see and hear, my nose was still completely blocked at this point from the surgery, so I still sound like I've got a cold. But apart from that, I was easily able to unscrew everything holding the canopy in, and we began to take it off.
Alright. I think she's ready to take the roof off.
And yes, that is a quad bike winch attached to some metal beams. Now that the canopy was off, we could finally have a look underneath it.
Well, it's actually not that bad, consider. It's pretty clean up along the back. There's no bubbles or rust, there's no nothing. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what it is, other than the corners. But it's pretty good for what we thought we had. It'll be a good little project.
After that, I then moved on to taking out the back seats, which are really simple and just required an extension. Now, I just want to point out that Cameron had recently found our old iPod Touch Nanos from like 2010 or something, and had hit shuffle and kind of left it running. So, look, we didn't pick this music. This was from our dad from like 2010, but it was just too funny to cut out.
One thing to note that I am doing is I'm labeling every single set of screws that come out with where they come from. So I've got the canopy, the head unit, and the speedometer so far. So I'm just going to add the back seats there, just because once this thing is entirely apart, there's just going to be a bowl full of nuts and bolts I need to go back. And without this, best of luck actually putting it back. Makes your life easier. Alright, what do you want, Cameron?
Now, after helping Cameron decide whether he wants to put a new bull bar on the International, I went back to unscrewing the carpet.
That's not supposed to happen. So far here under the mounts is only very surface rusty, so that's a good sign. It's got to take these out and then a few at the back, and then we'll be able to take the floor out of the seats and see what's happening here in terms of rust. So let's do that. Helps if you get the right piece. She looks pretty good. Alright, let's get off and let's take the entire carpet off. And you can see here that previous owner has upgraded the speaker system. So these are 4 Sony X-Plod, P-L-O-D something. I don't know, they're speakers. We don't know how them sound because we can't get power to the head unit yet. So we need to take apart the dash and have a look as to why that's happening. But fingers crossed they still work. But let's take this carpet out. Alright. Moment of truth, let's have a look. Let's see how much rust this thing has. It's pretty good. Take you in for a closer look. Ugh. That's very, very surfacey. And the same in the other corner. That's just surface. This thing is bloody perfect. Well, so far so good. No major rust spots so far, but I can show you here better. The roof. The roof is the major spot. So this is the back corner here. See how far that goes in? That's pretty jank. All this stuff here is pretty intermediate. Lots of just surfacey stuff here. Like this entire thing's going to need to be sanded down, cut that out, and then cut out that front corner which you've seen. But so far I'm pretty happy. Nothing major apart from what we already knew. So up next I'm going to take out these door cards, just so we can get the entirety of the back done, and I've got to take this carpet off there, not sure if you can see that. And then that'll be all of the back done. See, I don't know anything, I've never done any of this stuff before, so I'm thinking that if I take those screws off, the front will come off and the back will come off, which means I can take this POS off. So let's do that. These are the Sony XS-GTF 69. Nice. 37. Do I know what that means? No, that's just the model number. Oh, oopsies. And that is a speaker.
Once the speaker was out, I then moved on to the back card.
So I just cut this board in half so I don't have to go through and take this seatbelt assembly out, because I don't think we're going to be reusing this by the looks of it. Now, this side had a setup for a dual battery setup, even though, like, I don't really know how these setups work, but there was already a dual battery setup in the front, and now there's one in the rear. But either way, bunch of cabling for, you know what? I don't know. They've also got some socket plugs already here. I've grounded it out to there. Thank you, peoples. Oh, come take a look at this. So this is not the original seatbelt. We know that because the original one is that color, and we have this color. And see where it's mounted there? The original one mounted there. So they've just gone and chucked it in the front, which means I need to undo that to be able to take this off, probably. Yeah, she seems stuck, so let me do that really quick. And here we are, the other side. This side's got a lot more cables happening in it. Oof. But, so far, no rust, which is good. I mean, I wouldn't expect there to be too much rust here, but still, no rust, which is good. Next up, let's take this off.
With only 2 screws holding the wheel arch carpet on, I took it off, and then I had a good idea.
I love the idea of turning these into like storage compartments, but I don't think the plan is to have this really accessible. Like, this is gonna have drawers probably, and like a fridge stacked on top of it, so we can't access here. Either way, I still like the idea. Blah, blah, blah. And that is this carpet. All right, take a look at that. We've got the carpet, sidewalls, everything out. So now we are good to move on to the front half of the car. So I'm gonna take these out. See the seat mounts, like there. The rust here, if it'll focus. Yeah, you can see that. Rust there. So let's get these seats out. Let's take these trims off.
So now I was moving closer to all the rusty parts. And sure enough, look what I found.
Look at that. That one is, I've got a little bit to do under there. Alright, let's have a look. And yes, this side has a little bit more to work on, and even some further into the car.
But luckily, the driver's seat came out easily, but I can't say the same for the other side.
So I've got the other seats out, but it's just this one here, which as you can see is completely rusted, and I'm starting to strip it while using a 12mm on it.
Now, after some persuasion from the grinder, I can move on to taking the center console and the handbrake off. Now this would be the moment of truth. Are the floor plans just rusted out to shit? Or are they in reasonable condition?
Out your side. What do you reckon, Doc?
All this original sound deadening. It's not rust, it's just like rubber. Yeah, so fast, so good. That's not even existent.
Up and over.
Very nice.
What do you reckon so far?
I hate the original sound deadening. I mean, that'd do a lot. Fucking so good so far.
No other major rust parts?
No, gotta do the floor though. Other than the floor, the hole.
Probably made of 90% asbestos.
Now, of course, things never go to plan, and unfortunately, the more that we dug in, the more rust that we found. Thankfully, mainly on the driver's side. So there's going to have to be some work on the floor panel.
Look at this mess. She's quite rusty down there. Look at that. It's just folding underneath my finger. But I'm actually very quite surprised on how not much rust there is. Like, yes, there is big spots. Obviously there is rust here, and there's a lot of it. But not as much as I thought for a 40-year-old vehicle. I think our next step to reveal some more will be get the vacuum out and start vacuuming the shit out of this car to try and reveal more of what's under.
So we took the roof lining off and have a go at this. Our roof has been tech screwed in by the other owners to try and repair the roof. It's not been welded, it's just been tech screwed. It's come up alright on the top, doesn't look like it's been done. but the whole roof has been tech screwed in. Lovely.
So after giving the car a quick vacuum all over, we then moved on to chisel out some of the original sound deadening, just to get a grasp to see what's happening under the driver's side panel. And at this point, Ella arrived and decided to give it a crack herself.
So I'm just starting to pull apart the dash now, and I took this off and saw that there was a blown 10 amp fuse there. So I plugged it in, and straight away, she worked. And a cut blue cable. Don't know what that was for. And Ella's just cleaning out the floor. Got a few holes in the floor.
I may have made that one bigger.
What? Should be rusty, Cam.
Only that side, which is good. This is good here. From there onwards.
I feel like a tripod.
Make sure we get it correct. Let's see. Okay, so the day is coming to an end now. Ow, that light bar works.
It does work.
Anyway, so the day is coming to an end. We're losing light, so I thought I might just wrap up this video and once and for all show how much a 40-year-old Land Cruiser that cost... Land Cruiser? I thought I might just show you once and for all how much rust a 40-year-old Patrol has that cost me $1,000. You can see that we have been chiseling away at the original factory sound deadening just to try and reveal what's good and what's not. I'm not sure how well you can see, but this driver's seat mount is completely rooted and there is nothing here. Moving on to this side here, this entire section here is completely rusted out. We've got this side here, which we're still working on. Reasonable, ignoring the massive hole there. And the same around here, just a lot larger pieces of rust than when the carpet was still on. And then just everything up here is just a mixture of dirt, dust, and rust, and everything that you don't really need. Now, surprisingly, the passenger side floor pan is actually in really good condition. There's no major signs of rust apart from here, and obviously the sill, but that's not part of it. That's like separate. We already knew about this, but we've uncovered all of this, and it's actually really good for, once again, 40-year-old Patrol. There's just a few bits here, and just fix up this bar. So I'm really happy with this side.
Look what we found under the carpet.
So in total, this is what we're working with so far in terms of what we need to do for rust. I know you can't see anything, this marker is dog shit. So, the roof, which I've showed you, we've got both corners, the back left and the front right. They both need to be completely cut out and reworked. The passenger sill, as you saw before, just a piece of cut out there and re-put in. The seat mounts, so the seat mounts on the driver's side was completely rooted, as I said before. Same as the driver's sill, same old, and the driver floor, that's just got to be completely cut out, I reckon. Probably done by Cameron, or maybe me, we'll see. Moving on, there's a small, tiny bit of rust that looks like it's been there for a while. That's in between the tailgate and the back of the car, just so when it closes up, there's like a little gap there, and that's where the rust is. And then a little bit, tiny little bit on the left headlight around that area. And then, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but the second battery mount on the inside there had just completely fallen through, so you can see the tyre through there, so we've got to work that out. So yeah, that practically wraps things up for probably today's episode. This is the to-do list for tomorrow, I reckon. There's a little bit more than I thought, but when I bought this, I knew what I was getting into. I knew there was going to be more thin and rust, so I'm pretty happy with it in terms of we finally know exactly what rust there is and where it is. Yeah, we were kind of expecting more. So overall, I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to finish this off and we're going to go inside and have dinner soon. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.